stock price in a very big spot, guys. In our last video, we did mention that we're very due for a breakout if we can close over these $5 psychological and hard number level highs. We did get the breakout, guys, pushing in with a lot of volume, now reaching towards that $7 price target within our long-term perspective. That being said, my name is Dylan from Dylan's Trades. We're going to analyze the stock chart, looking at the weekly, the daily, the hourly. Every single analysis, we can get the short, the medium, and the long-term analysis to get a very actionable price prediction, top lows to watch, and much more. So we're going to start our analysis off over on the weekly, as we mentioned. So first and foremost, congrats, as I know it has been about 2 weeks since our last update, and we've been mentioning over NIO on the last month or two that stock price has been in a descending channel forming back to 2024. We have dated once again back from 2024. It's a very long-term trend. We hold here for 10 weeks at a time, 15 weeks. A lot of respect. Big downside, 50%. We've just been combobulated. We got the breakout over here with the quick surge, and then we pop right back in this channel. Continue to trade for about another year until we mentioned, guys, once again over the last few weeks that we feel really, really bullish at the bottom of this channel, likely to push the top. We did that from these lower $3-4 levels, pushing up, and then over the last few weeks, guys, this has been a very good example of a very healthy consolidation over the top of the channel. Notice how every other consolidation when we get to the top of this descending channel, the buyers aren't quite as strong. Besides over here, we've seen a lot of strength in these 1, 2, 3 week consolidation. Over here, we just get very, very dull, not able to close over these highs. We didn't see any confirmation over any highs. Over here, when we look over, well, we see in the confirmation, guys, the confirmation of that $5 level. And we have exited this weekly descending channel, being that this is a big measurement where stock price has been like a magnet, guys, just building energy, building energy, building energy, building energy. Now we get the pop within a 4.5 week pause and a nice, very technical setup, guys. This is one you could put on your wall. This is a very good example of a lot of things. So all in all, guys, not only are we breaking a descending channel, but we're building momentum. The stock price has been moving lower, right? Moving lower. And we did get the break over the top over here prematurely, which we knew short-term potential was live. And we really liked how we looked here. So now we're breaking out. We're almost at this other high, at this other top off. And you got to wonder as a bull now, how long is this going to last? As in the past, once again, when we did exit this descending channel, and we mentioned this before we broke out, we should be expecting something, a sizable movement to likely $7, at least $6. As in the past, we've seen the exact same thing within the same setup, a 40% movement. And the way we're going to track that, guys, really more or less is two things. One, the volume, and two, the momentum. As first and foremost, you notice how over here we had multiple green weeks consecutive. The buyers are very, very exciting before we flip red. And then we had one red week in a row, 2 red week, 3 red week. We had a little tiny green week where we moved up about 0.5%. We continue to flip red. We had about 9 red weeks after this momentum. So red to green is a very good momentum tracking within the weekly, and that's all we're going to do on the weekly. So as of now, this is not a time where we're going to analyze the weekly analysis. We just want to see stock price continue to move higher. And in a perfect world, the bulls do defend this low within this weekly perspective and keep moving higher on the weekly building momentum. I do think we do that as of right now, but it is really hard to say from a weekly perspective, just straight up, guys. It really is. But we really do just want to sit back and monitor that. As in the past, this has played out time and time again. Over here, we exited a descending channel. We were 2 weeks into the breakout, right? A very strong surge in 50%. Okay, and as of right now, we're up, let's see, from this structure, we're up 40%. So we got up 50%, right? And then right when we flip green to red. This is when the short-term traders get out. They take their money, guys, and then you see a strong dip. What did I just say, guys? Once again, we've seen one red week to follow that, another red week, a little 0.5% green week, another red week, a little half. You get the gist, guys. So momentum tracking is very, very live. And over here, guys, once again, we've seen 1 red week, 2 red week, 3 week. So NIO is very, very live to have multiple consecutive red weeks at a time. It's not really a stock where the bears kind of win or the bulls kind of win. It's very strong rips up or strong rips down. So from a weekly perspective, we want to remain unbiased as possible. If we start to teeter below this low within this weekly candle, likely to show the confirmation that we could be early within this fall off, potentially coming back to go testing the bottom of this channel around that $5 zone. But as of now, it is hard to say. This could be very early in the run up. We very well could be running to these upper highs being $8, $9, just something I want to bring to your guys' attention. Alrighty, guys. So I just want to let you guys know I have exited my NIO position once again. I was entering around these lower $3, $4 levels, and over here I am a technical trader, though I'm not an investor. There definitely could be a lot of potential on the table, but I just want to let you guys know that if we start to see that momentum fade off, we've historically seen on the weekly analysis green to red reversals, green to red reversals, green to red reversals, and these are all exiting descending channel, guys. So we're the last guy to come on here and fluff stuff up. We still look very healthy as of now from a more long-term perspective for our long-term investors. And we got a lot of these people watching. We could be breaking this long-term downtrend. We definitely could. We've been in this kind of long-term downtrend, and we're attempting to get some life here. So once again, if we get a little bit of life over $7, don't come back to this video and say, if it does get to $10 leading to the next few months, listen, guys, this is my analysis from a weekly perspective, but as of right now, we have to keep in mind the momentum gauge tracker. So if we see NIO pushing in the next 1 or 2 weeks, close over $7 and get above this with some green strong candles, then we might be targeting $10. This is a very live situation. Over here in the past, we got over $7 before immediately folding that level. This is a very core level we hovered at for multiple months at a time before really insinuating this hardcore downtrend to this channel. So all in all, guys, long as we wanted to take on NIO, but that is what it looks like on the weekly. So on the daily analysis, guys, you see a very strong rip. Once again, we've been covering NIO for quite some time within this very nice look within this lower channel. Very nice pattern within this nice tight range, guys. We see these breakouts at these lower levels, push up into a very textbook flag. We have been following this flag for quite some time. It took longer than we expected, and then we got the breakout. And as of now, we have obvious gaps to fill. So if you do see stock price break from that, 630 level from a short-term perspective, it would make sense to come to this lower low within this big abnormal wide bar over here at that $6 level, and then more or less to come down and fill that gap at 570. So we're going to go mark up 570, guys, as when stock leaves these major gaps, this is a big level. But really on the daily, guys, we just want to chill out here as we see a very strong overextended run, and now the buyers are attempting to get a little bit of, base behind the movement. And if we can get a little bit more healthy consolidation and we pull back, there's a very live potential on the daily that we see another one of these bull flag setups as we're tracking and monitoring at the bottom of this descending channel on the weekly over here. Once again, guys, once we broke out, we got a mirrored movement within this flag, which we were monitoring. And this is why we set that price target at this level. Notice how this completely lines up with that. Notice how that lines up exactly with the high almost. So, this is a very live situation. We do flag out as of here, but it does make sense from a daily perspective as of now to see the momentum die down. That is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting we enter a pocket, something like this. And it doesn't have to be a bull flag, guys, but I expect after a strong movement up, the bears likely don't have the presence to push us down, immediately fill the 570 gap, and then, continue to move lower, right? This obvious gap. I think as of now, momentum dies down. I think as of now, within the next 1 to 2 days, analyzing everything, this is the time where over the next few days, weeks, we should see NIO simmer here. And then from there, within a few days, we can monitor the short-term analysis a little bit better to see what will happen. Just how we're going to leave it. That's what we see on the daily. On the hourly analysis, we do see that stock price is starting to try to get that similar flag set up. And NIO's continued to do this over the time. Once again, see this very strong bull flag setup, exiting this very beautiful pocket down here. We have a very sharp movement up by the bulls, leading a very nice, surge of money in the market. Then we enter this lower high, lower low channel, more or less just a tight range. We and NIO will get to this very, very big $7 level, this very big resistance we've been monitoring since these lower levels, and then show this very thin look at these highs, just complete up. No trips down at all. And then we get to this high. We leave a very obvious blow off top. We come down hard. We get a strong attempt of gap and go. And then we sit here incredibly thin for about 8-9 hours. This price action leads me to believe that these highs have a lot of sellers over here. So keep an eye on the 683 high. I personally don't think we'll get above that over the next few days. There is a good chance we come to go test that. and then reach there before rejecting. But more or less, guys, I think on the hourly is leading back to the daily. We should be expecting likely a flag to be forming. Some reminisce of this before getting the next breakout. I've been like, the next breakout is the more likely situation, but we have to see what happens. We're seeing stock price see very obvious top outs right next to this very obvious major resistance. And this isn't enough vicinity where this can be close enough where, hey, we're in a big resistance right now showing obvious top out, tails. But I don't think outright stock price is going to plummet. I think if anything would come down to this low of this next measurement. And this is going to be the next level we'll watch from a short-term gauge, guys. It's going to be that $6 level once again. I think as long as stock price is above the $6 and the $6.10 level, we look completely healthy. Just to sit here and not do much over the next few days, guys. This is a very exciting, price action analysis to say, hey, I think stock price is going to go up then down, and not do anything for 4 or 5 days. No, but that is what we see. It is pretty rare with NIO. Once again, we've been very, very bullish for quite some time, but we've seen an exact mirror leg move within this last bull flag, exactly top out right next to that $7 level. Now we're starting to get some very obvious top out tails. I don't think we outright crumble here, but I don't think we're going to get the short-term upside. So I think we consolidate once again for another few days, potentially a week, maybe a week and a half. And then from there, we'll look at the stock, have a whole lot more, data to know where this thing's going to go. And likely, there's a good chance we do another one of these bull flag continuation breakouts, guys, where we see a bull flag, a breakout, once again, within our last video. We updated this around that $5 high, We see the breakout, we pull close to $7, and then maybe we're early in this, bull flag once again. We're going to consolidate for another week or so, and then get the bull flag continuation breakout to $8. This is a live effect, and we have the bull flag pull exactly set in stone. So, a lot of factors are leading into right now. Stock price will sit in a very parabolic surge, moving back and forth over the days. But I think come the next 1 week, likely not much action has happened, or the next 4 days, not much. I don't think stock price will leave too much from this, $6 to that $6.70 range. Alrighty, guys, if you guys found any value within the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We will be continuing to cover and monitor, stock price as this transcribes live. I do think there is a lot more, potential within NIO, especially zooming out to these monthly. We could see a lot of long-term price action. This could be a great stock to cover that we remain bullish on. But as of right now, we're paused at that big $7 level we have been targeting. It's really since these lower $3 levels. And we understand that consolidation is due, so we'll remain neutral for the short term. If we had to pick, we'll see a long-term bullish. But we'll see where this consolidation goes, man. So once again, if you were interested in that, drop a sub and a like. Appreciate you all watching the video. Have a good one. Take care, trade smart, and peace.